What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as RideMyAvatar, and today we are going to be going over none other than Japanese Tuesday, which is just talking about Japanese meta as a whole. So, as long as it's Meta Tuesday, let's get into the video, shall we? So, even after they've had their regionals, which we're going to be talking about a couple at least 2 decks from that regional event that JP just had. We're looking at a really healthy meta still. 28, 23, 22, 20, 17, 15, 11. You know, this is a huge thing. We have 4 really good decks in the 20 range, and yes, we have the bunny, Lotmon, or, Rapidmon, whatever you want to call it. The Terriermon deck is doing a lot of work. I mean, but that's also because there was a green only format for a while. So taking a look now and gathering the data, it looks like it's holding strong here in the 20s range, and that's pretty solid. We want to see things like this for decks like that. And you can definitely see on this graph here how it's like a decent move up. It's not like a crazy gap like we've seen in other formats where that there's the best deck and then there's small ones in between. This one seems there are plenty of decks to go around and do enough things that it makes sense. So stuff like that is good to take a look at, and you want to have that data. So first off, we got 28, 23, 20, 20. We've already talked about the big 4 right now. Next thing we need to take into account is we have Yellow Vaccine, followed up by SOC, followed by Numamon coming out because of the tops in the regional and JP. Definitely brought this deck up a lot. And people are just finding out that it's a good deck. It did some results during the Apocalypse phase, so it's not a bad deck in all honesty. So we're going to talk about that as well today. We have like Bloom, then we have X Antibody Black. There's plenty of stuff to go around, and even Leomon's starting to come up. Leopardmon, Shine Greymon is starting to get some numbers, and then we got a lot of these weird ones like Bogra, Hunter, Galactic. There's going to be a lot of interesting decks of the format, and let's take a look at some of these, shall we? So first off, I wanted to take a look at Bogra because Bogra won in this kind of meta pool. So either he had the nuts every single time, or this has more stock than we are giving credit. So he is the winner with Bogra Army, and we'll just take a look at what he kind of did. So, you have Ukamon here just being when one of your Digimon moves from breeding area to battle area, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card Digimon or Tamer among them, return the rest of the bottom deck in any order. So this will help you get your U's out quicker because it'll just get it to your hand. Stuff like that does matter in time situations where you want to be a little bit faster, so Ukumon's definitely helping. Myotismon being able to play one of your purple level 3 cards or a purple Tamer from your trash without paying your cost when it digivolves is really good. I mean, this is a good trade-off, especially if you are losing out on Tamers, just bringing your Tamer back. And then, you do have Bogra being able to Thoughtseize your opponent's hand. So on play when digivolving, if your opponent has 1 or fewer Digimon in play, look at your opponent's hand. Trash 1 card in its hand, and then if your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, place one of your opponent's Digimon under one of your other opponent's Digimon bottom Digi-Evolution. It's not a bad control option, and Bogra is just Bogra. Then all turns when an opponent's Digimon digivolves, or in effect places a Digi-Evolution card under your opponent's Digimon by trashing 1 card in this Digi-Evolution, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. Nice threat removal, especially since we are in more grindier games. This does matter sometimes. And you have like Darkness Bogra in the list as well. So delete one of your opponent's Digimon, then you may place up to 5 Digimon with Bogra Army traits from your trash as a Digi-Evolution card of this Digimon. Opponent's turn, when an opponent's Digimon digivolves or attacked by trashing 5 cards in its Digi-Evolutions, return all Tamers to the owner's hand. So a bounce effect. This really does help out in some circumstances, even just for you, because then you can replay Louis down and stuff like that. But Darkness Bogra, like, the deck is still going to have its problems, I think, but for it to pull a top in this kind of meta really shows that there is possibility for, variety of decks that you just gotta tinker with and see what you can do. Then we do have the Mumon list, so this is the winner. So let's take a look at what the Mumon list is kind of doing. We kind of know what basics are. The only real new card that a couple new cards you're going to be playing are like the new Ukumon from Bt-16, the Valkyremon Ace from Bt-16. So this thing puts a threat on your opponent because they don't know when you're going to go into this ace, because it is a level 6 ace. It's kind of scary. So on play, when Digivolving, all your opponent's Digimon gets minus 5,000 DP for the turn. All turns, when a card is removed from a security, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 8,000 DP. If this Vec didn't delete, this Digimon gains security attack +1. So until the end of your turn. So it's not a bad trade-off. You know, this thing can stack, especially when your opponent's attacking. If you didn't delete it, you know, one of your security is activating. This thing will have the security on your opponent's turn, so it'll stay, and then you'll get another one by taking some sort of security out, or when you swing in, you'll gain another one. So he'll do 3 checks on his own if you blast haste on your opponent's turn, depending on where they were attacking. So Valkyremon's very scary at sometimes, and so is RideMyAvatar X Antibody. So when Digivolving suspend all your opponent's Digimon, then this Digimon may attack. While RideMyAvatar X Antibody is Digivolution, all your opponent's suspended Digimon get minus 4,000 DP. All turns, when an opponent's Digimon is deleted in battle or has 0 DP, gain 2 memory. So really interesting, and you know, all your opponents suspended is really nasty. But the main reason why this deck is working is because the Ukumons put in so much work. One's getting you memory and hatching, so is this Ukumon doing, you know, hatching but searching out pieces. Then you have like Mumon X Antibody, so it gains on deletion. You may play one Digimon with Mumon in its name from trash without paying its cost. So you recycle Mumon pieces. And then same thing for its inheritable. Being able to have that is really nasty because it makes things sticky. Then we have War Mumsy, basically by trashing one Nume from in its name from hand or from this Digimon's Digivolution, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. On play, by placing one Numamon in the name from trash as a bottom Digivolution of all your opponent's Digimon with play cost 5 or less cannot attack a player until the end of turn. Then, you know, the security +1. And then we have Mumsy X Antibody. So when Digivolving, if this Digimon has a card with Mumsy in its name or X Antibody's Digivolution, you may play one Nume or a level 3 card from your hand without paying its cost. So this thing helps widen your board. And then all turns, when another one of your Digimon is played, for each of your Digimon, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2,000 DP on the end of the turn. So this wide board control is really nasty, and especially because, you know, Mumsy plus Valkyrie definitely brings you down to 7k, if not more. So, you know, that can be really scary in certain matchups. So I think the speed of the deck plus the ability to minus DP effect is huge for this. So we'll have to see if this continues to be really nasty or are we just seeing copium. Then we do have Galactic Bond. Galactic Bond was quite interesting here. I just wanted to take a look and show you, you know, you have, you know, Pride Memory Boost, the Vademons, the Venmons, you know, the On Playboy, Tai Kamiyas, Ukumons, of course, and then the Aces. Blue card's in here too, but we won't talk about that. That's kind of just like a bad card. Ukumon, as you know, we've already talked about this. This thing hatches and gains you a memory. Destromon promo, so on play when Digivolving, delete your opponent's Digimon and Tamers with a total play cost of 3 for each Vademon and its Digivolution. Increase the maximum play cost you can choose by 1. So this thing can help remove mem setters and anything else like that. You know, this thing is, you know, Snatch and 4 Venmons, which is not terrible. And then opponent's turn, when an opponent's Digimon attacks by placing 2 Venmons from one of your Galactic Digivolutions placing 2 Venmons from one of your Galactic Digivolutions at the bottom of their owner's deck, switch the attack target to this Digimon. So, not bad. Galacticmon's going to do galactic things. You know, start a main phase, trash the top card of opponent's security stack, and then when this card would leave the battle area by placing 4 Venmons with Digivolutions at the bottom of its owner's deck, preventing it from leaving play. You know, this thing will take, when Digivolving, place 4 Venmons. And then if you have 8 or more Venmons, and delete one of your opponent's Digimon. So it's not a bad card. Galactimon's going to do what it wants. But teching in like Valkymon Ace to Digivolve your opponent's Digimon, because if you have Destromon on board, you can threaten things like this. And then, you know, when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 1 or fewer Digivolution sources. Spike Bond Ace is really solid, and then you have Mega Gargo Ace here. When Digivolving, suspend 2 of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, then 2 of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers cannot unsuspend or Digivolve until the end of turn, and then when Digivolving an attack, they may suspend this Digimon. So, there's a lot of potential, and then Venmon himself, by spending this Digimon, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add up to 1 Snatch a Destro Galactic Fusionize, or among them to your hand, place 1 Venmon among them under this Digimon as a bottom Digivolution, place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. You know, Venmon is going to do Venmon things, and the deck has potential, so we'll have to see if that continues. Then we'll talk about Lugon. Lugon definitely showing some work and groundwork. It's kind of interesting. So, Lugon definitely decided to take out Garmon from Bt-14 to go into Bt-16s because if your opponent has 1 or more memory, unsuspend this Digimon at the end of attack, which is very common for this deck because you don't pass turn until it's 3 or more. So Lugamon's Inheritable will activate more than, you know, this one, because if you don't pop the whatchamacallits in time, if they have ways of bringing back, you know, Pumumons and stuff like that, or have enough on board, you won't be able to play by effect. So being it that this condition to unsuspend is easier to meet, that's why we're doing it. And then you have like Dino B that's going to help place one of these guys out, which is the main objective here, is, you know, they're free types, if I remember correctly. Nope, that's a virus. Who's the free type in the deck? Or play a level 5 or lower. So, yeah, Lugar is a 5 or lower. So, oh no, it's 5 or lower with free trait from its trash without paying its cost. So you're probably just replaying Dino B, just giving it rush and stuff like that is probably the main objective. That might be it. And then you have Fenry Luga basically doing Fenry Luga things. So if I remember correctly, if that's the case, I forget which ones have, if there's any free. I think they're all viruses, minus the Dino B. So Dino B plus Ukumon are the only ones that'll be being played because they're free types. But outside of that, yeah. Then you have this list, which is classified Levi X Antibody because of the way it's played, but it's kind of like the new Anubismon with Leviamon X Antibody. So this will be playable once we hit March, which is not terrible. You know, if you have 7 Lightning, be able to delete level 4 or 6s. Then you have Leviamon X, that's going to be able to delete 3, 5, and 7s. So this kind of just covers the full board and just deals with threats. It has 3 attacks by itself, and then all turns when an opponent's Digimon or Tamer is played by effect, one of your Levi or one of your Digimon with X Antibody in its Digivolution may Digivolve into this card from trash without paying its cost. So, really interesting. You're going to put X Antibody when you're climbing up because you want to use Doberman X for the draw discard. And then same thing with Cerberus is for the draw, and then trash 1 card. If you have, basically it's going to be an X Antibody, and as you activate this Digimon's on play, you may play a level 3 from trash without paying its cost. It's just all great stuff that you're going to do, and then you use like Mervamon to spit out bodies. You know, 1 Anubis is scary, but there's not much ways you can loop it outside of like a couple ways, and getting it back is a pain in the butt. So it's kind of interesting to see how the deck is working, and seeing it take a 2nd or 3rd place or 4th place. What was it? What place was this? 3rd place with this list. It's kind of interesting to me. Yes, we do have the Garurumon stuff, but it's not as prevalent. But I like the Octomon, you know, and Dragamon basically being able to play something on your opponent's turn, on your turn, to make it so that your Levi X procs. So that's kind of just vitally important, especially if you do it at the right time under the right circumstances. It can just lead to being scary, and Leviamon just being Leviamon is going to really put your opponent in a bad place. So stuff like that is just quite interesting. So guys, what did you think of the JP meta? So you guys excited for any decks so far? Let me know down in the comments. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace!